I cannot believe I'm about to do this. I cannot believe I'm about to say this. I never thought this day would come. I never thought I would find myself in agreement with a panelist from the worst show on television. There's an old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now, I'm not quite willing to take it that far. I'm not willing to call the Yentas on The View my friends, but believe it or not, and some of you will probably find this hard to believe, I find myself agreeing with the Yentas on The View. Luckily, though, the one I am agreeing with happens to be my personal favorite. Well, KC, are you agreeing with the whoopee cushion? Man, hell no! I don't bask in the ambiance of fresh flatulence. I find it to be disgusting. Are you agreeing with Alyssa the Farrah Griffin? Now, if there's one thing I'll never agree with, I will never agree with a pretender, a chameleon. I can't agree with AFG because I never know if she's being authentic. There's a reason that Freddie Mercury wrote that song about her. Oh yes, I'm the great pretender, pretending that I am normal. The Yenta that I can't believe I'm agreeing with is the matriarch of radiance, the beauty of all beauties, the stunning Asuncion, better known as Sun Hostin. Everyday viewers of this channel, you guys already know how I feel about Nikki Haley. I understand why Alyssa the Farrah Griffin is supporting Nikki Haley. Both of these ladies are great pretenders. AFG pretends to be conservative. She pretends to be a normal woman, while Nikki Haley pretends to be anything that she's not. She literally blends in with her surroundings. If her donors want her supporting foreign wars, she pretends she's Captain Nick Haley. When underprivileged kids request toys for Christmas, she pretends that she's Saint Nick Haley. When a disgruntled lemon goes on CNN and claims that she is past her prime, she pretends that she is Victim Haley. Last year, when Don Lemon was still collecting woke welfare from CNN, he was wrapping up a segment with Caitlin Collins, Katie Roo, and whoever the hell that other woman was that co-hosted that morning dump on CNN. They were talking about Nikki Haley, and Don Lemon rightfully pointed out that in biological terms, Nikki Haley was past her prime. For some reason, this ignited fake outrage throughout the mainstream media. It was the classic case of the woke turning on the woke. I didn't understand the fake outrage at the time. I damn sure don't understand it now. Now, even though I don't agree with him politically, I came to the defense last year of Don Lemon because Don Lemon didn't say anything wrong. Nikki Haley looks great for a 50-year-old woman, but biologically speaking, she is past her prime years. That's not me being an ageist. That's me following orders from Aunt Fauci and following the science. The fake outrage directed at Don Lemon ended up costing him his job at CNN. Those millions of dollars in woke welfare, gone. The platform he was given where he was able to speak to dozens of viewers every morning, vanished. That platform was given to Katie Roo Collins, where in a few short months, she was able to turn dozens of viewers into an audience so small it can't be measured. False claims, though, of ageism. They weren't the only reason Donnie Lemon was fired, but I think the claims of mythical ageism were the main reason. Nikki Haley pretended to be appalled. She pretended to be victimized by these factual claims. Donnie was actually hit with a dual violation of the woke commandments, mythical ageism and mythical misogyny. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember the reaction from Saint Nick when she was the pretend victim of mythical ageism. But before we go any further, let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my friends over at Ultimate Health and Wellness. As I have gotten older, especially as I've entered my late 30s, I have suddenly realized how important it is to exercise. I'm not talking about exercise trying to look like Roger Royd with the massive deltoids. Talking about exercise just to feel good every day, live a healthy life. Problem for me, though, I don't like going to the gym, which is why I have started using Ultimate Health and Wellness. The programs offered by Ultimate Health and Wellness, they are perfect for me because everything's online. I can use the program and it's convenient for me. They have this interesting workout series called the Billy Sticks. This particular exercise, it is a 6-part series. And the best part about it is the Billy Sticks They actually serve a dual purpose. You can use them to exercise, and if you're into martial arts, the Billy Sticks are a great way for self-defense. Ultimate Health and Wellness offers over 200 workouts that are good for all ages and fitness levels. Most workouts are 30 minutes in length, which is really all you need to live a healthy lifestyle. But if you want to bulk up and add muscle, there's 20 different categories that are offered that will help work you into shape. If you're looking for the personal touch, Ultimate Health and Wellness, they offer one-on-one training over the internet with a coach who's got over 20 years of experience. Click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20 to receive 20% off your first purchase of the Billy Sticks program with Ultimate Health and Wellness. All right. After consecutive huge embarrassing failures in Iowa and New Hampshire, and her upcoming huge embarrassing failure in her home state of South Carolina, Nikki Haley has decided to adjust her campaign strategy. A couple of days after her campaign was lit up like an ass fire at the Butt Bongo Festival, Nikki Haley received $2.5 million in donations. Now, how did that happen? How did she accumulate $2.5 million a couple of days after her campaign unofficially ended? I received this money from everyday Americans. Normal people are supporting my campaign to become the first minority Indian Guardian female president of the divided states of America. Yeah, sure, Nick. My guess is Nikki Haley received the bulk of this money from corporate donors and private military contractors. Now, I don't know that for sure. That's just my guess. I don't know of any normal people who are willing to vote for Nikki Haley. They're damn sure not willing to give her money. With impending doom on the horizon, St. Nick has decided to shift her campaign strategy. Instead of debating Donald Trump, Orange Man bad! Instead of debating Donald Trump on the issues, instead of attacking our fearless leader John Biden over the southern border, never-ending inflation, and possible prices at the grocery store, where a liter of milk costs as much as a liter of whiskey, Nikki Haley has decided to hit the men, I guess you could say, below the belt. She's now attacking both the Orange Man and the incredibly wrinkled gray man over their age. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. The victim of mythical ageism is attacking two men by utilizing real ageism? Doesn't that sound a lot like hypocrisy? Nikki Haley pretended to be upset when Don Lemon claimed she was past her prime. That was no bueno. But it's perfectly bueno for Nikki Haley to claim that Donald Trump is past his prime? With John Biden, I happen to agree with her, but it's got nothing to do with his age and everything to do with his faculties. The Yentas on The View, they made the same point. More specifically, my favorite Yenta, the Radiant Sun Hostin, had the same point. Last Thursday, my Radiant Sun was beaming with light as she called Nikki Haley out on her blatant hypocrisy. Watch for yourself.
I find her to be hypocritical about is she went off because Don Lemon said that she was older, that she was past her prime. This is what she says on Saturday in New Hampshire. My parents are up in age, and I love them, but when you see them hit a certain age, there is a decline. That's a fact. She's talking about her own parents. Then she says, she starts attacking Joe Biden and Donald Trump on their age. She's an ageist, yet she was offended when someone talked about her age.
Yeah, but remember, you're calling a man old at 80 and a woman at 50.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It's still hypocritical.
But I think it's kind of highlighting and magnifying.
Can we just say, I have to defend on Lemon a little bit, because I don't think he meant that he thinks a woman is over the hill.
No.
A woman is perceived as over the hill.
But that's my point, is the world perceives 50.
Right. That 80 is when you're too old as a man.
And 80, those men are still kicking it.
That anonymous blonde, why in the hell is she on this show? I know lacking meaningful contributions is a requirement for working at this dump, but the anonymous blonde, she literally contributes nothing besides converting toxic air to breathable carbon dioxide for the potted ficus. Now, even though I agree with Sun Hostin that Nikki Haley is a hypocrite, I don't agree with calling her an ageist. I'm kind of fucking sick of the labels that end in IST, ageist, fascist, racist. We get too caught up in labels. We also get too caught up in age. My dad's 72 years old, sharp as he's ever been. I'd feel comfortable with him driving my car, watching my dogs. He babysits my nephews. Even though he's 72, my dad's as sharp as he was at 52. There are other 72-year-olds that can't wipe their own ass. It's not about the age. It's about where you are mentally. Everyone can see that John Biden is clearly struggling. I'm not saying that to make fun of him. It's just the truth. Last year, I said the same thing about John Fetterman, and he was 53 years old. Is Donald Trump beginning to show signs of his age? Sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Trump isn't as sharp as he was back in 2016, but Trump at 95% is a hell of a lot better than what we've got right now in John Biden. This is a desperate attempt by Nikki Haley to keep her dying campaign alive, and it's not going to work. St. Nick is trying to portray herself as the young, hip minority candidate who's running against two old white geezers. Nikki Haley's got the same problem that Ronnie DeSantis had when he was running. Nikki Haley is not relatable. She is so unrelatable. Nikki Haley has found a way to make the beauties on The View more relatable than she is. Couple of weeks ago, Don Lemon announced that he was partnering with Twitter to launch the new and improved Don Lemon Show. Now, I was somewhat surprised by this. I thought Donnie was going to be the newest Yenta on The View. Makes perfect sense when you think about it. Donnie has plenty in common with the ladies on The View. They all like to gossip and they all like men. But instead of re-entering the constraints of corporate media, Donnie is taking his lemons and his talents to Twitter. Now, I think this is a great move for Don Lemon. I think we're going to start to see this happen with more regularity. This is one of the reasons that I didn't think it made sense for Pat McAfee to leave digital media to join ESPN. In the past, mainstream personalities who launch shows on digital platforms, they were kind of considered to be outcast in the mainstream media. Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly has been incredibly successful. I guess you could say Tucker's doing well, but Tucker just doesn't seem to have the same level of impact that he did when he was at Fox News. We'll see how this works out for Don Lemon. I think Don Lemon has a chance to make an impact. I mean, Donnie was controversial at CNN where he was being constrained. On Twitter, he can say all the outlandish shit that he wants. But anyway, give me your thoughts on this. The great hypocrite Nikki Haley gets called out by The View. Normally, I disagree with 100% of the toxic mouth farts that escape The View, but in this case, my son is right about Nikki Haley. That's how bad this campaign is going. Nikki Haley has found a way to make me agree with The View. Do you think these attacks on Trump's age will be effective? I think it's wasted time, but I think her entire campaign is wasted time. But you let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.